Hi, I'm Debbie Cronister. I'm an independent Stampin' Up! Demonstrator. I know this is January and we have a new catalog out, but I'm not using all new catalog products. I made this one first, and I love that it's just a different style card that opens from the side. And so this is the one that I'm going to make and show you how to make it. I use the Tea Party DSP for this, and these are two different what do you call it? Two different papers from the DSP. Let me just turn my light on here, see if that helps with some of the. Okay, that'll make it a little bit brighter maybe. Okay, so I used two different DSPs from there. And so let's get started. So I'm going to start with, and all these measurements are on my blog, or will be on my blog this afternoon. So I started with a piece of cardstock. This is the thick basic white cardstock, and it is 11 inches by 4 1/4 inches. And then I cut it at at 5.5, scored it at 5.5. At the 5.5 inch mark, I cut down 2 1/8 inches, and then I cut across here. So I have only kept the bottom portion that's 2 1/8 inches. And like I said, all these measurements will be on my blog, so I'm not going to try giving them to you during the video because I don't like giving you the wrong measurements. This is the Tea Party paper, and I'm going to attach that to a piece of sweet sorbet right here. I'm going to use this side. And then I have another piece of sweet sorbet and another piece of that same paper. And I'm just going to attach that together. So these are only 1/8 of an inch difference here. So it's a close attachment. Okay, and then I'm going to attach this larger one, the 5 1/4 by 4, in sweet sorbet right to the inside of my card here, and I want to do it evenly because I want that nice margin around there when you open it up. Okay, and then this strip that I put together goes right on the bottom front. Just like that. So when I first saw this card, I thought it was folded up. And I'm trying to figure out now, wait a minute, how can they do that and fold it up? But it could work. I'll have to play with that one. Okay, then I have another piece of that same paper pack. And I love this flower. This is so pretty. And I'm just going to put these two together. And I cut the sweet sorbet using the decal dies. And it is the 4th from the largest. I believe that's what it was. No, the 3rd from the largest. I'm sorry, just so you know. Then I'm going to put adhesive on just this bottom portion and attach it right here. And I'm centering this all the way around. I just want to make sure that I put the glue on the bottom only, the bottom portion only, because otherwise I've just glued my card shut. Okay, so that's how it looks. Now for the inside, I did this in this one. I did go ahead and cut a piece of sweet sorbet that's a little bit larger than my decal die. My decal die, this one, is the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5th from the largest, okay? And this one, I'm going to wait and put that in after I put my bling, because my bling is going to give me a guideline. So I have this circle that I have die cut from the Stylish Shapes dies, and I'm going to stamp my greeting in Garden Green, and I have a thanks. I always need thanks. I have so many people that do so many things for me, and I appreciate them. And so a thanks is always a good card to have, right? Okay, and there's my thanks. And then I have a piece here that I'm going to stamp my flowers on. I'll set that aside and let it dry. So the flowers are two-step stamping, and I'm using Sweet Sorbet. So I'm going to stamp my outline first because it's going to be the darkest and make it easier for me to know where to stamp the inside. And so there we are. And then I'm going to stamp the inside, but I'm going to ink it up and I'm going to stamp off, just so it lightens it a little bit. Let's turn our stamp the right way. And then I'm just going to line up the flowers, the edges of the flowers, and stamp. Let's see how it came out. Pretty. Okay, and then we have this wonderful punch. The stamp set that I'm using is Petal Park. And I'm also using Sentimental Park, which goes with it. It has the words, so I used that thanks out of Sentimental Park. So that is what I used. So I'm just going to punch my flowers out. And this is going to be noisy, guys. I'm sorry. Okay, there's my flowers. And then I'm going to stamp some green leaves. Now, when you stamp the green leaves, you want to make sure that you've looked at your punch and you know which way your leaf is going. It's heading down this direction. But make sure that you stamp them really at an angle. They're almost laying down. They're like that. Okay? You guys can see that. I probably did those too close together. I'm going to do 4 of them. And we'll do one more for good measure, just in case we have one that doesn't work. Okay, and then, oh, you know what? I have a piece of paper. This is what I want to stamp those on, just because of the way the punch is. So if I stamp them on a narrow piece of paper, it'll be much easier to punch them out, and I won't end up with that one's got a little tail on it. I won't end up with a ton of scrap, and they'll just be easier. Just see how much nicer that works. I still am going to get some scrap, but where's the leaf? There's one. Ended up with that in my hair. It goes everywhere. You guys know that. I'm going to punch this one, I think, before that one. Just because I don't want to get down to not having a handle. And actually that wouldn't have happened, probably, but now I can go back and punch this one. There we go. So my 4 leaves. Okay, I think I'm all done stamping. So let's close this up. Alrighty, let's put our flower and our circle together. So here is my circle. I'm going to put my circle flat because I am going to pop up the flowers, some of them. So I want a nice surface to work with so they don't look like they're falling off. Let's close that one up too. We're done with that one before I put my hands in it. Okay, now for my flowers, I'm going to put a little one on right down here. And the next little one is going to be at the top. And then this one's going to go on a dimensional in between there. Just like that. All right, then I'm going to tuck my leaves in there. And I am going to put the adhesive on the front of my leaf because I want it to stick to the back of my flower. Just like that. Oh, I probably should have put that one up top. Let's try moving it. Can I move it? Yes. Top or down bottom? I'm not sure where he goes. Okay, let's just leave him there for now. Okay, and let's put this one up here. You can put the glue dots on either side of your flower. In this case, they look like they're part of the flower rather than part of the background. And so sometimes it's okay for them to be part of the background, huh? I lost my glue dot, and I lost part of that is one disadvantage to putting it in the front, that you've stamped in, so you've compromised that cardstock a little bit. But they usually work out okay. Okay, this little guy needs to go up. He is just not in the right place. So let's put him there, or put him up here, put him up there. Because I'm going to put some bling down here. Okay, now I'm using the red rhinestones for my bling, and I want to do that next so that I have my guide for up here. So I'm going to put one here and one over here, just about evenly spaced there. I am going to put one on each of the centers of these flowers. There's something about the center of a flower that calls for a rhinestone. And I think that's it. Okay, now if I open this up, I can tell where this is going to go. So I do want to center it, but I also want to make sure that I'm below that and inside of that, so that you don't see this from the outside. So when I close my card, you're not going to see my signature and everything. So, okay, then let's tie a bow. We'll add that to the front. With a glue dot. And there we are. Okay, so thank you for joining me today. You'll find me on Facebook Live every Wednesday morning at 10 a.m. Pacific time. And if you need any supplies, please be sure to go to Stamp with Deb and click on the shop link, and that will take you into my Stampin' Up! Page where you will be able to order any supplies that you need. Thank you so much for joining me today. Bye-bye.